Mike, you down to play a little MLB match?
I'd like nothing more.
Oh, fantastic. Let's figure out where these free agents are going to go. Because,
Right.
Obviously the top dog, David Price, going to the Red Sox. But another guy out there is pretty intriguing from a positional player standpoint. Jason Heyward. Where do you think he's going?
I think he's going to end up in Anaheim with the Angels.
All right,
I just feel like every other year or so, the Angels kind of come out of nowhere and make a big splash. We've seen it in the past. I mean, we go back to Pujols. The Angels always seem to be the mystery team. I feel like it makes sense. I think they're in the next stage of moving forward. It's a guy they can build around for years. They have the money, and I mean, this guy's going to eventually. He already is one of the best players in baseball. I think he's only going to continue to get better. It makes a lot of sense for them to kind of transition moving forward, building around him.
Yeah, I think he's going to stay with the Cardinals. I mean, they got a lot of money to spend. According to reports, they just had that new TV deal that they signed, so got a lot of money to toss around. That's the type of guy, very underrated player too, if you ask me.
Yes.
Let's go to Chris Davis, because this is a guy that a lot of reports out there, the lack of reports, I should say. You don't really know where this guy's going to go. The Orioles bringing in Mark Trumbo. I don't know if that eliminates them from the equation, but it certainly raises some questions. Davis, I first thought he was going to stay with the Orioles. Now I'm leaning towards the Astros. Just got rid of Chris Carter. Davis just seems like an Astro to me. Strikes out a lot, hits a ton of home runs. A perfect fit if you ask me.
That makes sense. I'm staying in that division. I'm going with the Mariners. I think you look at, they're under new management. They're trying to, a whole new regime change there. Again, there might be a little bit, apprehensive after all the money they gave Robinson Cano. Do you really want to invest that kind of money in a guy who is, just hits home runs and does really nothing else? I think it makes sense, though. You can keep him at DH moving forward if you need to. I think that's a guy that, you can make a splash with.
Going back out to the outfield, Justin Upton. He seems to be the next guy in the pecking order behind Heyward in terms of outfielders. Where do you think he's going to go?
I think he ends up in the Bronx, New York Yankees.
Wow.
I think the Yankees can't. I think they
can't sit on their hands,
Yeah, and then they can say all they want that they want to spend. They're good where they are, but it's so weird to think that the Yankees might be laying in the weeds. But that's the way it kind of usually does go. And I think they strike the last minute and they add him, and I think he's a nice piece there. So I think that makes sense.
I'm going out west. I'm going to say the Angels. For many of the reasons that you mentioned with Heyward, I think they're going to make a splash. To me, that seems like the guy they're going to bring in.